Fusion
This video is sponsored by Two Hearted Ale IPA.
What's going on, world? What's cracking, gang? What's the deal? It's everybody's favorite Unk, and we got some catching up to do.
New Heinz Easy Squirt Ketchup has a nozzle that makes it easy to draw. On food!
Now, if you guys follow me at all on the community tab, you know that, let's just say I've been going through a little situation. I live on my own now, so I had to pick up a second job here recently. I'm working overnight shifts, the graveyard shift, and I'm working 8 hours during the day. So I haven't really had a lot of time to, make as much content as I want. But I think today marks the beginning of me getting back on that train, getting back out there, man, because I miss you guys, man, and I miss making content, for the channel, man. It's just fun. It's cathartic for me, and I have as much fun as hopefully everybody that's watching has when they're watching. But that's about as much as I'm going to dive into the personal stuff, because I did put a poll up in the community tab about what my comeback video should be, whether it should be a review or kind of just like a catch up on what's been going on in my life and my recent pickups. So just touch on it real quick. I had a situation happen, and now I'm living on my own. Don't make enough money from my one job to pay rent where I live at, so I had to pick up a second job, blah, blah, blah. But the grind don't stop, man, because this is Plastic Crack Anonymous, okay? My name is Unk, and I am an addict. Because even though I had to pick up a second job to, keep the apartment, I've still been picking up little stuff here and there, and I've more so been cherry picking. I picked up a few things that I didn't get a chance to get in 2023 that came out in 2023, and I picked up a couple new things as well, man. So I'm just gonna kind of talk about some of those things, man, and give you guys, some quick opinions instead of doing a review on each and every one. Now, before we get into it with my new situation, I have been kind of being more frugal with my buying, getting, some cheaper stuff, not really splurging as much on the import figures. And everything you see behind me is pretty much everything I've bought in the last 2 months, which for me is like pretty tame. You know what I mean? Like, cause I was buying at my peak last year, I might've been buying trying to think of a number. I mean 5 figures a week, maybe more some weeks. And now I'm slowing it down. I'm taking my time and picking up some things that I need and not everything that I see that I want. Let's go! So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I think I'm gonna get the Marvel stuff out of the way first, the Hasbro and the Diamond Select stuff. So the oldest one out of everything back here that I got Beta Ray Bill. And I got Beta Ray Bill, the Diamond Select Beta Ray Bill. Right before me and my girl broke up, I got this Diamond Select Beta Ray Bill. And I have no personal connection to Thor. As a matter of fact, I think Thor might be the corniest Marvel superhero. I'm not gonna get into it in this video, but I'm not a big Thor fan. But this figure is big and beefy and it looks so fucking cool, man. I love this shit. I got him with this little windmill hammer in his hand, of course. And this accessory actually came with the handle broken. And I had to glue the handle back on, but it's fine. Speaking of which, that's gonna be a theme. It's like buying toys and them coming broken, because there's another one back there that came broken that I had to fix. And if you're like me, you don't really have the patience to be refunding stuff and getting it back and sending it back and all that. If I can fix it, I'll just fix it. And honestly, my fix might make it better than it was. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Diamond Select Beta Ray Bill, pretty damn cool. I got him at a comic book shop called Stories Comics. He was 25 or 30 bucks, which for the price point, I wish I was more into Marvel stuff overall, because the Diamond Select stuff, for the price point, man, is pretty sick. And the articulation is still pretty good on this big guy. So yeah, I picked up Beta Ray Bill. He's pretty cool. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about him because there's other figures I kind of want to talk about a little bit more. Next, we'll go to the Infinity War Iron Man. So I actually have a good amount to say about this figure. I'm gonna take him off the flight stand. So Aesthetically, this figure is very impressive. And what stands out the most to me on this figure is the paint job. And we know that Marvel Legends is kind of famous for like some of that marbling and some of these like metallic paint jobs. I had that Scarlet Spider, the comic book one, and the marbling was just terrible on it. But on this guy, I mean, dude, this thing looks flawless. Very accurate to the source material. The Robert Downey Jr. head that comes with him is awesome too. His little repulsor blasts. I like the blue repulsor blasts. A really good looking figure, but the articulation on this figure is so terrible. Like, first of all, like this is me trying to kick the leg back. And like you have to twist it to kick it back. You can't even kick it back straight. If you want to kick it forward, like forget about kicking it forward because you'll see this little piece gets in the way. And like you got to kick it sideways to even kick it forward. So you can barely pose him. I mean, you know, double jointed knees or whatever. You know what I mean? You got your diaphragm, you know, with your twist and all that, you know. But posability wise, this thing is just, it needs a waist cut. And I think that might be what really holds this figure back. Now, granted, it is an Iron Man suit, so, you know, it doesn't have to be the most articulated thing ever. And I like how you can push his feet together to get the, you know, the blasting off thing. But also, his ankles cannot bend back at all. Like any. And barely, I mean like barely bend upwards. So yeah, the ankle is terrible. The articulation on this figure is just not good. And I was really disappointed by that. Now, I needed an MCU Iron Man because I only have the 20th anniversary comic book Iron Man. So I needed an MCU Iron Man, so I was more than happy to get this guy, and you know, he's okay. But the articulation is so criminal on him that, in my opinion, if you see this guy and you're thinking about getting him, I would say pass him up. Especially if you already have an MCU Iron Man. But yeah, really disappointed in this one. But you know, I do like the figure. And I like Iron Man. I've always been an Iron Man fan. As far as MCU movies go, the Iron Man movies to me are the best MCU movies. The first two Iron Men are amazing. And like, you know, to me, I don't really, you know, live and die by MCU movies. I'm not a huge Marvel fan anyway, but the first two Iron Man movies to me are the two best Marvel movies, MCU wise. The first two Spider-Man movies. And to me, like after that, the rest don't really matter. But yeah, kind of disappointed by this figure, but still cool to have the MCU Iron Man from my MCU show. So, of course, I always am buying more DBZ stuff. So I picked up the Latent Power Trunks from Big Bad Toy Store a few weeks back. And actually, we're kind of going in order now of everything I got because there was one more Marvel figure back there. You can obviously see that I didn't talk about. Probably don't want to talk about that one the most, but got this Latent Power Trunks. Love this thing. So I think it's Tonson Art Toys that are putting out the hand kits where he's, you know, pulling the glove. And I'll try to put a picture of it on the screen here. The hand kits and the blast effect kits for Vegeta out that also work with this figure. And if I can find one, like not for a crazy price, I definitely want to grab one specifically for this Trunks for this pose because I have the Solid Edge Work statue with him in this pose. But this was a must cop for me because that Boy from the Future Trunks, the QC on it was just so horrendous. And I love Trunks that I was like, I need to make sure that I have like a good quality Trunks figure in my collection if something happens. So pick this guy up. He's really cool. And 35 bucks. I definitely want to get another one to put a Super Saiyan Goku head on for the, you know, when him and Gohan were training to, you know, be in base at Super Saiyan pretty much. Only drawback to this, I wish they would have made it a true re-release and gave us the Saiyan head with the ponytail. But across the board in action figures, we're getting less and having to pay more, so there's that. But yeah, I really fuck with this one too. Now we're getting out of order because I'm just kind of going, because there's ones I want to talk about more than others, but I picked up the Burning Gundam, the Gold Burning Gundam, the Amazon exclusive Gold Burning Gundam. And I actually put this one on the poll to ask the community if I should either release a review of this or this video that I'm recording right now. And overwhelmingly, the vote was in the other direction. But I'm in the process of filming a review for this guy. I may put him up in a review. I'm not sure because, these types of figures are kind of annoying to review. And case in point, I was talking about Beta Ray Bill being broken. This one was broken out of the package as well. His little flap back here, I had to glue that on. And you probably can't tell because I did a pretty good job, but I had to glue that flap right there back on because it came out of the box broken. I may put the footage up in here as well. But, I mean, aside from that, this thing looks fucking sick. I've never watched G Gundam, actually. I've only watched Mobile Suit Gundam and Gundam Wing. Because there's a lot of Gundam content out there. I had a homie just suggest me Gundam 00 and Gundam Unicorn. So eventually I'm going to watch more Gundam. But I had to get this guy just because he looks damn cool. I just did that Metal Cooler review, and you guys know I love a nice shiny, just like statement piece. And this guy's really cool. I was telling my homie that I was talking to about just Gunpla and Gundams in general that, I don't really have that many Gundams anymore. If you watch any of my videos, you know I had almost all of the Gundam Wing, Gundam Universe stuff and sold it. I had all of it except for the Tall Geese and the Death Scythe, which were the two best mobile suits out of the whole lot, in my opinion. All I have now is the Sazabi, the RX-78, and they wouldn't take the Wing Gundam at Second and Charles when I went to sell them, so that's the only reason I still had the Wing Gundam. But I was really gonna only keep RX-78, and my Sazabi's leg broke too. I don't know. I feel mixed about that line, but if you guys do want me to drop that review, leave it in the comments below, because I do have footage, and I'm, working a lot, but I'm also working on stuff on the side, and I may end up doing that, finishing that review and putting it up. So let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. I have a lot to say about those new WWE basics, so I'm gonna do those last. So we're gonna go to, we got my trusty McFarlane stand, the Final Swing Suit Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Now, I love this figure. I love this figure. I thought I wasn't going to love it from everything I saw about it online. I thought that, maybe he would be too hard to pose. Maybe he wouldn't be articulated enough. But I love this figure, bro. The sculpt of this figure is awesome. And he's, you got to give him a heat gun bath or a hair dryer bath or hot water bath before you mess with them, because the joints are really, really stiff. But this thing looks really freaking cool. And again, another one where he's got that metallic paint job and there's no marbling really in it. And I like that. Like if Hasbro can keep that up with these Marvel Legends figures and give us these metallic paint jobs with minimal marbling, as much minimal marbling as possible, I'm gonna be happy. As a person who doesn't collect too many Marvel Legends, that's just one of my nitpicks that I have about some of the metallic paint jobs. I will say the blue could have been a little bit lighter to kind of match the suit in the movie. And the Tom Holland head looks really good. I've heard people say that it looks like a younger Tom Holland, which Tom Holland looks like a little baby anyway, so he's got baby face. But yeah, love this figure, man. I got it at Second and Charles actually, and Marvel Legends seems to or Hasbro seems to do this thing where they hike up the prices at fan channel type places like GameStop or Second and Charles, because this was $30 and I remember it was $25 in Target. And the one I really wanted from the set was Toby, and I passed on him in Target a few times, and I'm still sick about that. But I like Andrew Garfield. This is my MCU Spider-Man on my display right now, because I don't have any MCU Spider-Man either, so this was kind of a mandatory cop. So I recommend this figure, especially if you like No Way Home, especially if you like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and the Final Swing, is just, it's iconic. So I recommend this figure.
About a month ago, the World Wrestling Federation was a pretty rosy place, wasn't it?
All right, last but not least, we got to talk about these new WWE basics. That's the main thing I want to talk about, because good Lord, they are cooking with gas, baby. And the WWE Basic Showdown 2-pack with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H with the sweatpants, okay, and his dope-ass t-shirt from that time period. The words on the back too. Now, These are awesome. Let me tell you right now, if WWE continues to do what they are doing with these basics, or Mattel, basics are gonna become a real valuable collecting point for a lot of adult collectors. I'm gonna put down Steve over there, and I'm gonna just use Triple H because, you know, I have him right now. But, you know, aside from the improved articulation, and this belt is from Shelton Benjamin. Is it Shelton Benjamin? No, Ken Shamrock. Aside from the improved articulation, because now you can split about 45 degrees. Aside from the improved articulation, you can finally swap the hands out with other figures. And that is a game changer for like the kit bash ability of these figures. This hand, I don't know who it's from, it was in my box, but he didn't come with that hand. He came with another fisted hand. You can also change out the heads for other, you know, elites, ultimates, XYZ. And again, that is such a game changer. If you look at this Steve Austin, I've got Steve with an ultimate Stone Cold head on him right now, because this is not the head that came on him. The head that came on him, he was kind of doing like a mouth open type of face, and I put the ultimate head on him. You know, so such a game changer with the playability and the interchangeability with the basics. And listen, for both of these figures, it was $23. That's cheaper than an elite. That's cheaper than an elite. And the thing about the basics, they don't have double jointed knees or elbows, right? They're single jointed and they swivel at the elbow. But they feel like they've always felt this way, even before they could split their legs, or before the legs were on ball joints. They feel so sturdy, and like they're just gonna last forever. Like if the nuclear, you know, apocalypse happened, here WWE basics would somehow last because they feel like bricks. Man, I'm definitely gonna be buying more basics. To me, these are game changers, and especially at the price point. So if you collect WWE stuff or just wrestling figures in general, and you've been on the fence about the basics, man, I highly recommend getting into these basics, man, because they're so fucking good. They're so good. But yeah, man, those are, you know, all the pickups I've gotten over the last 2 months. I'm kind of proud of myself because even though this is Plastic Crack Anonymous, I have been exercising control. I've been saving more money. And, you know, if you made it this far into the video, I'll just go back to what we talked about before a little bit. Yeah, I got a lot going on right now, man. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm hoping to be working 80-hour weeks here soon because I need the money right now, to be honest. I need to get a new vehicle as well. I'm working on getting my motorcycle license. So I have a lot going on, and it's gonna be a cold winter, but it's going to be a hot nigga summer. You feel me? So yeah, man, I mean, there's been a lot going on in the toy community. You know, McFarlane's raising prices. Marvel Legends just revealed their cell-shaded Daredevil the other day that everybody's upset about. There's always gonna be things for us to be upset about. But if I leave you with one thing in this video, especially with my situation right now, it is appreciate the things you have, but most of all, appreciate yourself. Take time to love yourself, and everything else will fall into place. Because if you love yourself, you can truly love others. Unconditional love is hard to find these days. And, you know, one thing I know that all of us have is a love for collecting. It may not be unconditional, because we do have conditions, but it's a love. But with that said, man, I really appreciate all you guys watching. I got some stuff planned, and I really, really appreciate all you guys. So if you haven't, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. If this video tickled your fancy. If it didn't, tell me why it didn't in the comments below, or even if you want to just talk some shit in the comments below. But until next time.